Hello. My name is Marc Brown. I was born on November 25, 1946 and grew up with three sisters in Erie, Pennsylvania. I attended the Cleveland Institute of Art and for many years illustrated children's books written by other authors. In 1976, I wrote my first children's book. It was called Arthur's Nose. Since then, I have written and illustrated more than 75 children's books. I am currently living in Hingham, Massachusetts, with my wife Laurie and my daughter Eliza and two grown sons, Tolan and Tucker. I used to listen to stories my grandmother Thora told me. That started my appreciation for stories. When I was in high school, we had to do lots of book reports. Because I was so shy speaking in front of the class, I used to give my reports as funny poems. As far back as I can remember, I loved to draw. In first grade, though, I found I had a talent for it. In high school, my art teacher, Miss Bryan, saw promise in my drawing. She helped me to develop as an artist. She said to me, "Do what you want to do, and do it as well as you can if you want to be successful," illustrating them. The first book I illustrated was one written by Isaac Asimov called What Makes the Sun Shine? That was in 1970, when my son Tolan was little. I used to tell him stories before he went to bed. I made them up as I went along, just like Grandma Thora used to do with me. I never planned to write another Arthur book. In fact, my next book was to be about a little boy in school who went into the girls' bathroom by mistake because he couldn't see properly. My idea was to make the main character a rabbit, but my editor suggested it might be good to continue with Arthur, the aardvark, instead. Arthur could have turned out to be a rabbit. The first time I told the story to Tolan, he was an aardvark. It had to be about an animal with a long nose. Otherwise it wouldn't have been much of a story. But one of the reasons that most of my books have animals as characters is that I wanted characters that all children could identify with. Arthur's become more human over the years, and he's lost most of his nose, but he's still Arthur on the inside. Some come from my imagination. Many come from things that happened to me when I was a boy. Many of my characters are based on real people. Mr. Rutburn is based on my 7th grade algebra teacher. Francine is based on my sister Bonnie, and DW is drawn from all three of my sisters, Bonnie, Colleen, and Kimberly. Arthur, as you probably guessed, is a lot like me when I was a 3rd grader. A lot of teachers say my book are about situations that children frequently encounter in their daily lives. I've always been an illustrator first and foremost. I don't know why I started this, but once I did, I couldn't help myself. There's something else I put in that you might not know about. Many of the houses in my books are ones I single-quote-ved lived in, and many of the interiors are from my own home. I started by writing down some rough ideas and inking pencil sketches. Then, I create a storyboard. Eventually, after many attempts, I get to a point where I do the final drawings. Finally, it goes to the publisher to check that everything's in order. Then it goes to the printer, who turns my original drawings into color plates for printing. The book is then printed, bound, and sent out to bookstores.